going, everybody? I think we need to talk about what happened in Charlottesville and the aftermath. Yesterday I made a video where I was talking about how people will choose the name of a group and just, that's their enemy. That's who's responsible for everything. Before I made this video, or I should say as I was making this video, it was early in the day, and what was actually happening in Charlottesville didn't take place until after that video had already come out. Now we know that a man named James Fields rammed a car into a group of people, and he was, since that, he was charged with second-degree murder. When this video came out, you can see him driving down a long road, colliding into the back, ramming into a group of people and slamming into the back of another vehicle, which caused the two in front to move forward, hitting more people, and then he reversed, injuring even more people. And I said this looks intentional, like an act of domestic terrorism, that here was a guy ramming a group of political protesters. Now, so far, he's only been charged with second-degree murder. And I'm surprised to see many people trying to say, wait, we don't know what his motivations are, so we shouldn't call it terrorism. But we know that this guy, James Field, is a white nationalist. We know that he attended the event on the side of the white nationalists, and that he got in his car and he rammed a group of the counter-protesters. To me, that's political. I actually have people commenting and tweeting at me saying, well, he wasn't trying to make political change, he was just angry. And strangely enough, it seems like that's at least what the prosecution is arguing. Second-degree murder tends to be, I'm not a legal expert, but a passion crime. Meaning they think this guy just got really angry, saw this crowd, and just hit the gas. But my question then is, what is he angry about? Sure, I understand it probably wasn't premeditated. If they're charging him with second-degree murder, yeah, it's not premeditated. But this is an attack that injured over 30 people and killed one person. Now, I don't know how the state or the federal government brings formal terror charges, or what the real qualifications for something to be terrorism is, but at least from where I'm standing, the way I see it, there have been many attacks, right, where a Muslim extremist and Islamist rams a car into a group of people over the past several months, yelling something like Allahu Akbar, and immediately everyone jumps up and says, this is terrorism. And then everyone on the left is saying, wait, we don't know for sure, let's wait until we know the motivations. And the people on the right are saying, come on, it was somebody with a van or a car screaming Allahu Akbar, we know why they did it. And now we have an incident where the roles are a bit reversed. And there are a lot of people on the right saying, no, hold on, wait for his motivations. We don't know why he did it. You're never going to tell someone's true intention. He can say over and over again, I got scared and just hit the gas and killed these people. But look, this is a guy that got in his car, and this is not a short road. This wasn't like he was surrounded by protesters or anything. He's in his car, and you can see in the video him driving into this crowd. Yes, after he rams into people, they start hitting him, and then some people jump on his car. He reverses, and the whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. So let me just start the video with this. I do believe that this was an act of domestic terrorism. I understand there's a lot of nuance in the politics, and there are significantly worse forms of terrorism, right? But this is somebody who was attending a political event, who was aligned with one of the political factions, ramming a car into his political rivals, okay? To me, that was politically motivated. But sure enough, I immediately start seeing things like, this is on white people are doing this, everyone is a Nazi. Now here's where the situation gets particularly dangerous. Many people don't seem to realize that the alt-right and the current right, like Trump supporters, they're not the same thing. Certainly there's an overlap, sure. No one's denying that. But everyone seems to think that every single Trump supporter is a Nazi. And this is absolutely insane. I don't even know how to communicate with these people. I used to think that a lot of these people were just ignorant. They posted this picture of me at dinner with a bunch of these Trump supporters, and Baked Alaska was one of them. And they used that to somehow imply that I'm friends with these people or that I regularly hang out with them. I know them, sure. But I was doing an interview, and I was going down to meet people and learn about who they are and what they're doing. But these people who are making these posts, who are making these videos, I truly believe that this is intentional. There are people tweeting at me saying the blood is on my hands. There are people on Facebook saying this is what you get, Tim, as if somehow I'm actively involved in any of the politics that's going on. Aside from making videos where I regularly condemn violence on all sides. Oh, but that's not good enough. You can't call out violence and hate on all sides because that makes you a Nazi. Don't forget, not too long ago, a progressive took a rifle and shot at several politicians, and everyone condemned that. Unfortunately, there's tons of people in my mentions on Twitter who are saying, yes, violence is acceptable because we're fighting Nazis. I've referred to this as the cultural civil war, and that's not coming from me. I heard speakers, progressive activists at VidCon say this, they reference it as, our current cultural civil war. We've seen street battles over the past year and a half, maybe even a little bit longer. We've seen these protests escalating really since Occupy Wall Street, where it's just been getting more and more violent. And for a while, it was just property destruction. And then with the rise of Trump and the Trump supporters, it started becoming partisan. The left and the right having these factions that were getting into fights with each other. And both sides believe that they're fighting against oppression. The people on the right think that the left are dogmatic and that they control, the cultural narrative, and that they've got to stand up to it because they're being demonized. And the left believes that everyone on the right is a racist Nazi who wants to kill people. And so what ends up happening is no one will back down. But this is like, I tell people it's like a Chinese finger trap. The more you pull, the worse it's going to get. That you need to somehow reverse this trend. But it doesn't matter. Because even the people who are rational on the left and who are rational on the right are still demonized. People are posting tweets out of context. Take, for instance, this tweet with over 13,000 retweets. It's a picture of Joey Salads. And he's got a Nazi armband on. This was a video he made in March, having nothing to do with what's currently going on. He went to a Trump rally wearing the swastika to try and see how they would react to his presence. And sure enough, they yelled at him and removed him. This is a video that shows a group of Trump supporters saying, we don't like you and you need to leave. We are not with you. We do not agree with you. And a screenshot of that video is being used to say the opposite, that Trump supporters are Nazis. Joey Salads has done some fucked up shit in the past, by all means. Some stuff that you'd say is absolutely racist. But taking this photo of a social experiment where he shows that these Trump supporters are actually like, no, get out of here, and then using it to say that all of these Trump rallies are full of Nazis is absolutely insane. And sure enough, I tweeted, is this the moment where we blame everyone in a group for the actions of the individual? And what was the response from most people on the left? Yes, they're all Nazis. While certainly the people in Charlottesville are to an extent, yes, you could say this is a group of people chanting things like fuck you faggots, and they're one of the most extreme right-wing, and many of them are actual Nazis, yes. But the issue is, you've got Lord tweeting all white people are responsible. You've got people saying this is Trump's supporter base. These are Trump supporters. And they're actually trying to argue that the new right personalities, the run-of-the-mill Trump supporters who don't like Nazis, who have actually condemned Richard Spencer, are in the same group. It was actually a while ago, many personalities on the right condemned the white nationalists and refused to associate with Richard Spencer because it had gone too far. It was around the time where Richard Spencer had this event where he allegedly gave a Nazi salute, but he says he was raising a glass. But many people in the audience did the Roman salute, the Nazi salute, and said some Nazi things. And immediately, many people on the right said, no way, we are not cool with this. People talk about Base Stickman saying he's a Nazi. He's got a mixed race kid. Cernovich, he's got a mixed race kid as well. But it doesn't matter what's true. It matters that people just want to say, you are the other, and we need to bring violence to you. This guy in Charlottesville, this crazy murderer, who rammed his car into these people, he has done significant damage to our country, to his own political beliefs. He has given good reason for so many people on the left to say no and to condemn these people. Unfortunately, it's not about this one moment that everyone has latched onto, because violence has been on all sides. And it has been escalating. Now, I'm not talking about historical acts of terror and violence, over the past 20 years. I'm talking about this past year and a half or so, the escalation of political violence. This guy in Charlottesville is certainly one of the worst. But don't forget, We recently had a guy on the other side take a rifle and shoot at several politicians. No one is innocent. No side is right. No side is morally superior in this. You know what? I think you all get it. I mean, you wouldn't be watching my videos if you didn't. And so this is the problem. People on one side of the political fence or whatever refuse to actually watch these videos. They refuse to have rational debate, or they just don't want to. Maybe they just want everyone to pick a side and get into a big bloody street fight. Because that's what it's starting to feel like to me. When they post things saying that this is my fault for being a journalist, for commenting on issues saying don't be violent. Where I'm filming right now, I've got 3 windows. It's like a bay window or whatever it's called. And it's really great for the light on my face, and that's why I film here. And I'm looking outside, and I see there's an old white man crossing the street. Next to him is a Latino guy doing waste management services. There's an old lady with some kids walking down the street. Life's fine. And it seems like they're going about their business with no problems. Most people feel this way. Most people don't even know what happened in Charlottesville. Most people don't watch the news. And so we really are in this bubble. And Twitter is a toxic mess, and it is terrifying. That people take things out of context. They just want to get followers. They want to get the numbers. I just turned my phone on airplane mode. I said enough. And I'm going to take the rest of the day and just go chill, look at my apartment. This is going to escalate. There are many, many more rallies that are going to be taking place this month. On the 19th, there is the anti-Google protests being hosted by many people on the right. And on the 19th in Boston, on the 19th as well, there is another free speech rally. And I'm already seeing people tweet that they're preparing for violence, talking about training, talking about getting equipment. There's no way to de-escalate this. So what is the natural conclusion? Over the past several months, I mean the past year and a half, I've talked about how it's just going to get worse. And it has just gotten dramatically worse. So comment below and let me know what you think. Click the like button if you liked the video. Are we doomed? You know, I've asked a lot of people this. I asked a counterintelligence expert, you know, talking about the partisan split fake news, and he said, yeah. And I've talked to a lot of my friends, and they're losing it. People on the right and the left talking about buying helmets. I guess we'll see what happens. And I don't know where I'll be on the 19th, but I'll certainly be covering it. So thank you all so much for watching. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TimCast. If you want to support the work that I do, you can go to timcast.com/donate. Give a monthly contribution to help support my work, or I accept Bitcoin. And you can also go to minds.com. It's minds.com/TimCast. And subscribe for behind-the-scenes content whenever available. Thank you all so much for watching. New videos every day at 4 p.m. And I'll see you then.